Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where we're doing our reaction and review to Unseen World, track by track, going through the entire thing. And we are on to track number 5, and let's see if I can get the title right this time. I Still Seek Revenge, that's what it's called. I fluffed that up in the reaction video, and if you want to see the reaction, because this is the review, remember, click the little link in the description below if you haven't heard the song before, if you just want to see it with me, so you can see how I reacted upon first hearing it. Otherwise, I'm going to give you the review now. And big thanks, by the way. The first few of these that I dropped, a lot of people were sort of expressing that they were happy that we haven't put the actual song in this video, which is good because a lot of people I know are still waiting for their physical copies. And there were some people, because it came out sort of tiered over different regions, it was midnight in whatever country you were in, who were still waiting to hear the songs and didn't want the actual song spoiled. So I'm glad that there's so many people who appreciate that side of what we do. That's something which has come out quite nice about how we do this channel. But anyway, time to talk a little bit about this song, and this is one that I think went in a direction that I must admit, at this point in this album, I'm really impressed that they've done so many songs that have shown so much musicianship. It's still sort of hard all the way through. I'm a little bit concerned, like I say, that I want them to do some experimentation on this album, but as I said before, I'm expecting that to come in the later half of the album. I wouldn't expect them to put that up front and centre. So I'm not surprised that this has gone for another sort of rock song, especially with the title in there. And it is the core of what they do. So I want them to hear them both appeal to the people who are their core fan base, but also test their fans and also show their skill at doing other things, which I think that they certainly have a lot more in the tank than just doing their sound. So this song to me didn't, like I say, didn't push them in any direction that sort of, you know, broke any new boundaries for them. But what it did is it added something new to the album. Now, at this point, like I said, the first 3 tracks were sort of go. Then we had Manners, which was interesting because it was really heavy, but it was nicely sparse, broken up with head bobber. It was something that I used the word rudimentary, which opened a bit of conversation yesterday. And I sort of meant rudimentary, not in a derogatory sense. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words a lot today. A lot of air conditioning because it's so cold here and my mouth is drying up. By rudimentary, I just meant that it was them using their ability to do something which was simple and impactful. You don't always have to be showing off all the time. And that's one of the reasons why I think Manners worked. It nicely changed the tone from that sort of constant barrage of, you know, just amazing musicianship thrown into every single corner. It was nice to have something simple just to break that up. Now, I Will Still Seek Revenge. It's hard to say as well. I Still Seek Revenge seems to be going somewhere in the middle. It is a mid-tempo song for the best part, but again, it's doing that every single second there's something going on. And it kind of works here, because what I was saying during the reaction, and I hold this to still be true, is that there's something nice about, it's almost like a Wagaki band style quality. There's a lot happening, but you can really tell that each member of the band is giving space to each other. You know, there's room there. Obviously, the core of this is very much the bass. This is a song where the bass comes through as being really the driving force of the song. It's got that funk, sort of 70s funk style bass going on underneath, which is really nice because it adds a bit of a swag to the song, but at the same time, it's got all the heaviness over the top. It is basically a stomping heavy rock song. So those two, almost you could say juxtaposition, but more sort of a complementary juxtapositions. Those two aspects work really nicely together and giving the song a bit of identity in of itself. Now, I do also like I say, the fact that there's room for the bass. This hasn't got a full-on bass solo to speak of, but the guitar hits when it needs to and then backs away when it doesn't. In the chorus, it comes in really heavy so that you get the impact of the chorus, you get the loudness, you get the fullness of having the guitars just sort of really crunching away. But even there, in the latter half of the chorus, it sort of backs off and lets the bass come forwards. Again, this is really benefited by the fantastic work that's being done in the engineering side of this album. I really like the way it's mixed and the way it's produced. This is quite a hard one, you can tell, to really get a good mix out of because there's so much going on. But I think they did a good job of it. To me, it does feel like a good album track. I've always said that Band-Maid for the best are not... Their skills never lie towards doing ultra catchy songs. They've got some which are quite catchy. Choose Me and some songs like that. But that's not really their thing. They're more about sort of doing the effect, the power, the detail. It's re-listenable quality rather than catchy quality. So I don't go into their songs expecting like, oh wow, that hook is going to be stuck in my head for years to come sort of song. And so, you know, when it comes to chorus in this, again, it does what most Band-Maid choruses do. it's catchy, it's enjoyable in the moment. It's not sort of, well, I say it's catchy, it's catchy enough. It's not something which is going to stick with you for years and years to come, but will stick with you. And I think so far from this album, you get the feeling that what sticks with most people about them as a general is that you know that their songs have so much of an innate quality, so much musicianship. And that's really what they're leaning on here. This is a song which is definitely benefiting from that musicianship. I would say so far, this song probably, I would say it's probably the one at this point that's had the least impact on me. I really like the bass in it, but whereas the first 3 tracks, you're at the beginning of the album, you've got that hyped up energy, and they really are sort of piling along, and in manners, like I say, go for real head boppy quality. This does feel like it's somewhere in between. It isn't as sort of impactful as manners, and it isn't quite as energetic as songs like, well, Warning for a start. But it's a nice sort of bit of variation in that sort of heavier beginning of the album. I like it, but I would be very surprised if I came away saying this was my favourite song from the album. This is one that feels like a sort of good album track, I would say. But again, like I say, even if it just sort of goes down as being a good album track, it's a good album track for a band who have set themselves a very high bar for musicianship and for quality. And so it achieves that bar. You know, it feels like a good quality song. If it was taken on its own merit, it'd still be very enjoyable. As part of the album, it seems to fit nicely where it is, but it's not the sort of track where I think I would go back saying, I specifically want to listen to this one. It would just sort of go nicely into the flow of the album. So the next track we're going to be checking out is HGK. But until then, I want you guys to give me your thoughts about I Still Seek Revenge in the comments. If you've heard the whole album, tell me if it's your favourite song thus far, overall, or tell me if it's your favourite song thus far if you're just up to this point and you're following it with us here. Really interested to see what you guys think about this one. Like I say, no down on it, it just doesn't sort of stand out to me as much as some of the other tracks that have come before it. Except for Misa's bass work, which is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, guys, tell me what you think. As always, get in there, give me your comments, but also justify them so we can have a good conversation based on it. Say I work with music my entire adult life doesn't mean my opinion's more relevant than yours. Music is only as good as it sounds to the listener, so please tell me what you think. Liking and subscribing is greatly appreciated too. Remember all the other social medias linked in the description below. A big thank you to our patrons. As always, I've got to say it because you guys keep us going. We're not monetized and you are the reason why we can still do this. And thank you as well to yourself for making it through to the end of this video. So, until I see you very soon, hopefully for the next one of these in Japan, for now, ciao ciao.